Can you hear me now? Because I can't find the OBS window, so I couldn't even tell you if I'm on screen. Oh, here it is. Oh, yeah, there we go. You can wait. Wait, why is it so loud now? Why is it so? This happened before. This happened before. Oh, I see what happened. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. That's pretty funny. I joined a stream earlier, and the same thing happened, except this time it's the opposite of what happened before. Testing 1, 2. The sound was just too loud. Now it's good. Now I think we're good. You should be able to hear me now, right? You can hear me now, right? Right? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? You have to hear me now because I have the sound enabled. Yeah, the sound is on. You guys can hear me. Gain? I've gained a lot of friends, but what does that have to do with anything? But jokes aside, yeah, I can see what a gain is questionable. This is the weirdest thing. This happened to me like a couple hours ago too. Like almost like, It's very high because I wanted to show that I have the best gain. I have the most tremendous gain. As Donald Trump would say, my gain is the most tremendous gain. Would he say that? I don't know. But how's it going now, guys? Because I'm getting a nice little yellow VU meter, you know? But if it's too loud, I will tweak that. But right now, I'm in the sweet spot. I think I'm in the sweet spot. Am I in the sweet spot? Yeah, I'll even lower it a little bit. Maybe it's using the wrong audio device. It's really funny because, like, yeah, I joined when the call. Wait, I said the name backwards. When the Deep calls the Deep kindly invited me on his stream. Her name is Amber, friend of Floral. That's better. Friend of Floral from under a rock, and had a great time. We talked about space and all of that stuff. I should definitely drop a link before this ends. What up, Slim Min? Good to see you, buddy. And Kronos. What is a Kronos? But anyway, we're going to dive right into something here. We may look at some rocket videos, but I spent an inordinate amount of time on something, and I would really like to, show you the result of that effort. And if Punk Waddle's message comes through, like maybe he's running late, maybe he thought it's a different day, maybe I miscommunicated. Either way, he's more than welcome to pop in if and when he arrives. But to show you this, I have to turn off my light because this would otherwise be unseeable. So as you guys might remember, see that? Believe it or not, this is actually the best way to do this. Kronos question mark? Oh, you're right. I was supposed to share the chat on my screen. What was I thinking? I'm sorry. Thank you, Dave. Well, same thing. Let me just refresh the browser extension so we can get you guys on the screen with the YouTube chat. But it's good to see you, Loki. It's good to see everyone here. I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Next week, we may play a game. Heck, I might play a game as a bonus stream before that, but probably not. Probably wait till next Wednesday or Thursday to stream again. Oh, I see what I did here. Interesting. That's the wrong plugin. That is why I can't see the chat messages. David has found it. Ooh, okay, we're good to go. I just like being able to, show the chat on screen, You guys go to the trouble of visiting me. I'd like to, have your messages come up on screen. And as you know, I have that cool plugin. It's a little convoluted at times, but it enables us to see. This is going to drive James nuts, but I can't help it. There we go. I just need to see that because I need to turn on two things. I need to turn on the YouTube chat, and then we're good to go after that. Yeah, a checklist would be nice, wouldn't it? I concur. I concur. I wholeheartedly concur with my boy Slim. All right. So we got two ways we could do this here. And I think we're going to do it with the light on my phone, believe it or not, because I think that it's easier to appreciate. But what we'll do is we'll use the backlight for navigating the operating system. And then we can always use the bright light. Because you can see like how it looks night and day. I did some testing after last week's stream, and it's a night and day difference. So as for anyone who's not aware, I spent an obscene amount of time, an inordinate amount of time, making this work. Like, I don't even want to, like, I did some anime. So basically, okay, what is this? It's a media player on a PDA. A PDA, in this case, this is a Windows CE palm-sized PC, which is differentiated from a HPC, a handheld PC. Many HPC handheld PCs were palm tops. This one here is obviously a, portrait form factor. And thank you, Dave. Much appreciated. Da, 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 da. We do have a little bit of space. I didn't put that much Star Trek on, but we do have some anime that takes place in space. So we're going to show that. But we're going to start with an episode of Family Matters because, I'm a big fan of Urkel. Now, you're going to notice one thing about this screen. It's that you're going to see that there's that white speckle of dust in there. I might one day disassemble it in order to deal with that. But for now, we're going to just let it be. I know, right? So let's start with just playing the video and see how good it comes out, how well it comes out. So right there, this is an episode of Family Matters. Now, the original download was a larger file, obviously higher resolution, and this PDA has a screen resolution of 240 by, 320 by 240, 240 by 320, which is like, I guess, quarter VGA or half VGA, something like that. Definitely it's half of 640 by 480, which would be comparable to your television. Now, this particular episode is done at an obscenely low frame rate of 5 frames a second, I believe. But one of the things you could do with the Core Pocket Media Player is during playback, you can go here to Media Info, and it'll tell you the details, like, what format, what encoding you used in particular, the resolution, the frame rate. As you can see, when I encoded it, I locked it to a 10 FPS frame rate to help, deal with the fact that this device is not a video playback device. This is not an MP3. It does play MP3s, but it's clearly not intended to be a video iPod, right? It's not an iPod movie. Yo, what's up? Thank you so much for coming. Oh, thank you for having me. We had a great time. We talked about space. We maybe could even show you some of the stuff we went over. I actually have a folder of pictures set aside, and because James gave me good advice, I am going to wait a little while to jump to this topic. But you know what? Give you guys a little preview. How does that sound? I think you guys want a preview of what we talked about today on Amber's stream. So Amber asked me to get a picture of the Pillars of Creation, and this is also known as the Eagle Nebula. I neglected to find Amber. I neglected to go on Astrobin to show you what amateur astrophotographers take pictures of when they get this, to give you an idea of how it differs. But yeah, we'll take a closer look later. But here's like two pictures of the same object. So this is the James Webb Space Telescope version, and both of these I downloaded from the NASA website that provides you with the obscenely high resolution version. So if we zoom in at 1:1, this is basically the size of 10 or 20 of my own screens right now. This is the file you would use for printing. The file size is probably kind of big. Let's see, how big is that file? Let's take a look, and we're going to get right back on track. That's only 163 megs, but yeah, 163 megabytes. The resolution is 8,000 by 14,000. But it's magnificent, and I'm glad we talked about that. We spoke about that on Amber's stream today and had an opportunity to just kind of look these over and talk about, some of the nature behind why you see these details here. But we're gonna get right back on track right now. I just want to share that. If you want, check out Amber's stream if you want to see what we went over today. You like sloths? Interesting. Sloths are fascinating creatures. I think they're really cool how they hang from the tree. And I don't know if Stone Loki's still here, but it is a game I have to stream. It's called Chorus. Because I think, we got our people here who love space operas. This game, even though you fly around as a lady with tattoos, it's actually, I think it's a pretty decent game. And I was having a blast with this game, and I'm definitely going to have to. Oh, cool, we got Punk Waddle. No worries, Punk Waddle. No apology needed, my man. Cool. So this is actually why we have Punk Waddle here today, because I wanted somebody who can speak while I'm dutzing around with this. Because sometimes, like I'm juggling things, and it's just nice to have someone to bounce ideas off of. So we're going to tap Mr. Punk Waddle right in very shortly in about 10 seconds. You got about 10 seconds. Let me know if you need more time. Type in the chat if you're like, oh, Ron, no, I'm not ready. But if you're ready, I'll tap you in about 10 seconds. Yeah, it's a pretty cool game. I definitely got to play it, record it, and upload it. Like you said before, Loki, it's like you don't want to, I noticed the same thing. That sometimes I play a game for casual purposes and I want to record a video. And then I realized, no, you know what? I'm here to freaking recreate, right? Recreation. So there's that, but I'll do a casual upload. It doesn't have to be super polished. I don't even have to comment over it too much. Yep, that's right. But I mean, when I do a stream of a game, when I record a game, man, it's beautiful. I record at a proper 60 frames per second. In fact, I think I'm gonna play that game and upload it at 120 frames per second. Who here has 120 frames per second display? Well, if you got a modern smartphone, you might have one. So maybe you should watch my stuff on one of these if your phone accommodates that capability. Getting back on track here. Yeah, right? I got some Aussie lemonade here. It's a little late for an energy drink. All right. We're going to tap the Great American Punk Waddle in 3, 2, 1.
I'm American.
Hey, what's up, Punk Waddle? I don't know why I'm not getting the split view. Oh, there you go. Okay, good.
Yeah, well, I'm okay with being it. Is my volume good?
Your volume is more than adequate. If it's not good, I can make you louder. How's Punk Waddle's audio? I think you're good.
Okay, it also made me re-sign in and stuff that I'm not used to on Restream.
Yeah,
it was really weird.
I got you. Well, today, when I went to go on Amber's stream today, I used a feature in Firefox where you can create or spin up a separate user profile. And the idea is that, if you have, banking stuff, tabs, and maybe, bookmarks and porn and stuff, mainly banking stuff. Of course, I don't look at porn, you know that. But, stuff that you don't want to, go and type in your address bar, what is Port Richmond, and then it, you type PO and it's porn, and it's geez, no, and it's I didn't even go to that website for 6 months and it's coming up in my browser bar. Of course, that's what everyone says when they accidentally open up pics. But anyway, but no, jokes aside, I just wanted to have a nice clean slate. Plus, her channel is very, oriented towards Christianity. So I was yeah, let's make sure we have a nice clean slate. I don't want to so much as have a raunchy tweet on my screen, So I do this thing, and then I go to get back into the other user profile, and I'm it's not loading my settings. It's not loading my friggin' sign-in. So then I was okay, real quick, last minute, I signed into things myself. So yeah, I ran into a similar situation myself about 4 hours ago. Volume is great. David Glenn says volume is great, and you know what that means. Well, we are making volume great again. By the way, see this hair product I'm using? Well, you can't see the hair product, but I bought it in Texas.
Oh yeah? Would you end up getting?
Yeah, at the time my hair was too short to take advantage of the curls, but all of a sudden I'm putting this crap in my hair and it's doing these curls, and then last week this guy on Twitter, and we'll get back on track in a second. Yesterday, this guy on Twitter, we were talking about Imperial Japan, and I've been exploring different narratives on that, because everyone's always oh, the Japs were really bad and stuff. Yeah, I get it, but it's I'm kind of just interested. If I want to find stories about the rape of Nanking, I could find that. I want to find stories of good Japanese people during the war, or even if they're the exception, I just want to learn about that. And at the same time, I always have this attitude that I feel like a lot of people aren't letting the Japanese live it down. It's like when you have a, it's not maybe not you, but some people have a wife, and then their wife nags them about stuff from like 20 years ago, and then some people like will be like, "Man, what are you gonna do? Bring up the Stone Age next?" And then sometimes even the wife has to laugh at that joke. You know, it's like so. It feels like that, and I made that reference, and then this guy takes a screenshot of my Monday show from last week, and he goes, "Oh, I'd expect nothing less from a guy with a physiognomy like that." I'm like, "Gee, that cuts deep." So I look up
Yeah.
the word physiognomy. I'm like, "Well, what is it? What do you think physiognomy means?" Because I thought it just, I mean, it sounded obvious, but it turned out to be a slightly different definition.
Well, physiology, so it has to do with your physical features, kind of the way you're being represented, and it's kind of sounds like these stereotyping your body type and your hair and your
Mm,
posture and everything.
Well, interestingly, like that's exactly what I had in mind. Like everything, basically, right? Physiognomy, like maybe like skinny or scrawny guy or whatever, like any number of things. You see like a crackhead. That's I thought that's like an example of a physiognomy, and it turns out that apparently it has to do with facial features. Like from unless I read the wrong definition, it's about facial features. So then I go to the guy's tweets, and it looked like he had like maybe one or two semi-anti-Semitic tweets. So I don't know if he was implying that I had like that look,
Oh, yeah, the
but
curls. Yeah, I'll
yeah,
say.
but like I was like, so I wasn't as offended mainly because like once I confirmed that he used the word incorrectly based on the definition, I was able to leave a comment that allowed me to get a good chuckle out of it and not be offended. But
Well,
you
I
know, I
mean,
mhm.
I was gonna say, yeah, you got the curls and you're in Jersey, so
Yeah, 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 that's true. And I
you
mean, I'm right near
probably
Brooklyn.
you probably get the best pastrami in the country, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I should hit up some pastrami soon, just for the sake of it. I want to go and get. There's a gelato place that the lovely Sherry told me about. That's in the city and in Brooklyn. I want to hit that place up. I want to get some gelato and take home a nice big bucket of gelato, like the real gelato, stuff that is like fruit puree or whatever it
Yeah.
is. What is this about compact CRTs? What? What? Dude
I
McMahon goes. I have an RTX 4090 and a compact cathode ray tube monitor. And that's funny because I have a compact CRT. I had two of them. I picked them out of the
oh,
garbage back in 2002, 1998-ish, give or take a couple of years. I think like between 99 and 2002, I got two compact monitors. I believe it's a compact 150. And just, I think it's like an 800 by 600, and maybe it can do 1024 by 768 resolution. But that being besides the point, the reason I'm like
are we talking
semi,
about the old box ones?
yep,
Yeah, I
just
got one
like
in the closet.
well, here's what I want to do. I want to go and hook my Nintendo, my regular NES, up to one.
Oh
I
yeah.
and I want to see if I could play Duck Hunt. And I'm not sure if this will really work. Like I have a black and white
Mhm,
TV that will work, but it's black and white, so it's kind of boring. But
mhm,
like it goes from like the output on the computer or the VGA connection converts it to a composite AV connection, and then you can run that into or vice versa. I'm sorry, it's backwards. So it goes from the Nintendo into a little box, and then that box sends it to the VGA on the monitor, and that's the connector, the little blue connector with the pins on it. It's called VGA. I think it means video graphics array.
yeah,
And yeah, so my guess is it's not going to work because of a timing thing, but I'm hoping that it ends up working anyway because basically Duck Hunt works on old TVs and doesn't work on new ones because
right.
the light gun is expecting the white box or the black square, I think it's a white square, to
Mhm,
pop up in like an 80 millisecond time frame. And so it's like
mhm.
80, 80, 80. And if that white square is too early or too late, it doesn't know. So I actually have a copy of Duck Hunt in my desk that works with a special zapper, but I'm like, I'm not going to use the special zapper because it doesn't have that satisfying ba-ding, ba-ding.
Oh
But
yeah, that trigger pull is just nice.
yeah, it is. And like, so maybe what I might do is maybe get the other zapper. Maybe I could like take my trigger and put it inside of that zapper. But like, before I go that route, I'd like to just go with OG hardware, keep it simple.
Mhm.
So that's what we're gonna do, But anyway, getting back, so this is the crazy thing, man. You can make fun of me if you want. Um, I wasted a lot of time encoding movies to go onto a vintage handheld computer with a monochrome screen, and we do have one with a color screen that we're gonna show just so people can see a comparison. But we did this last week, and it wasn't as polished as it is now. So, have a little fun. And Wade, I don't know what a power adapter is, but jokes aside, no, I think I know what a power adapter is. I just got to dig it up. I got a Game Boy SP with Wade's name on it. Like it literally has his name on it. It's got like a little sticker that says Wade. just says Wade, but I know what that means, real Wade. Um, but he's getting Game Boy SP as soon as I find that thing. Like, you know, like I think the battery is good. It's just that I want to plug it into a charge. Oh wait, I remember I had a flashback. Okay, I got you, Wade. I just had a flashback where I have a spare. So I have two. I have the wall chargers. That's what I was looking for. But
Oh,
I
okay.
also believe I have a USB charger laying around where it's like a for a lot of the older Game Boys, the ones with the
Oh.
rechargeables, you can get USB cables for them.
Hmm.
And that's cool because like back in the day, I used to bring my Game Boy, what do you call it? You know, Nintendo DS to school,
Yeah.
some crap, and the battery would always freaking die on me. And it's like, what are you gonna go plug into a wall socket? Good luck finding a wall socket in 2003 when everyone's bringing a laptop to school and like the few wall sockets available are always getting used by someone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but like now we got these USB power banks that you can put in your pocket or in your backpack, and it's
Hmm.
just like, yeah, so straightforward. Like, you know, so it's like even if you have like a messed up battery, it doesn't really matter. You know, you can just plug into it anyway, and you're good to go. So, yeah, that's something that like I would send Wade a Game Boy and a USB cable because I think that'll be like a good way to hook it up.
Yeah.
Uh, how do I connect into my flat screen? Connect what? Oh, those the Nintendo 64. There's many ways to do that. That's a whole other topic. But
Yeah.
I did a video.
They should have
Hmm?
all the RCA, and
Yeah,
most
you could
TVs
do
still
that.
have the RCA. Although I will say I have a 720p TV that is great for the video games, the N64. I wouldn't go anything higher def than that because, and it's also a 32-inch. If you go too big
Uh-huh.
and you have too high def, oh, playing Legend of Zelda on like a 55-inch, you know, 1080 HD TV is just uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And I got like a 42-inch plasma. I don't
Mm,
really play too much NES on it because I don't want to burn it in, but I always have a meticulous maintenance routine, so I don't think it would be an issue. But yeah, I'd say it looks quite good. Like I got a power adapter for my NES like right over here somewhere, and when I pull that out of the box, I'd like to hook up my NES and do Top Gun mid-air refueling. And I believe the only way I can personally do it is with an NES Advantage gamepad because the turbo knobs make it easy to kind of adjust the speed of the plane when you're doing the carrier landing or the mid-air refueling. So I'm looking
okay.
forward to that. But for Kronos' question, I do. Well, I mean, there's a couple ways you could do that, and some people don't use the composite video cables like directly on a TV. That certainly works. Um, and you know, some TVs may not have the composite ports, or some TVs like my Roku TV has what looks like a headphone jack, but it comes with an accessory cable that like almost like a dongle that has the regular RCA or you know the AV connections on it. So that's an option. What I'm doing with my Nintendo 64, I installed an internal upgrade. So if you look at my past videos, there's a video about a device called an Ultra HDMI, and it's literally just a thing that you solder to the video chip on the inside of the N64. It takes the red, green, and blue video signals, which are more pure than the regular AV connections, and sends that to the board, and then the circuit board converts that to HDMI and routes out, you know, a nice clean signal. And obviously, there's only so much you can do. Like even if it outputs 1080p, it's only receiving so much resolution from the Nintendo, but has like cool features. Like I did a stream, I think 2, 3 weeks ago. We played some N64 on here, and there's like essentially you hold down like the way it's set up. I had to solder a connection on the inside of my N64 so that when I hold down like these buttons, like at the same time, it
Oh, I
opens
have
up.
that controller.
Yeah,
Oh,
the atomic purple. This thing's pretty nice. It's like I have a
I,
gray controller and this one, but this one's the one that's in better condition than the
I
stick.
bought that N64 special pack because it came with
Oh,
the
that's a beautiful
controller.
one. My friend, well, one of my friends bought that one. He gave me his gamepad, so that actually probably came with a very similar pack. It was the box that had pictures of all the best games on it.
Hmm.
At least I remember the box had pictures of different games, including Rogue Squadron. And I got a working Rumble Pack, and I used to like think the Rumble Pack stunk, but actually it's not bad. Like I used to find it to be distracting and stuff, but no, it seems to be actually has some subtlety to it.
Well,
I like it. And
now that we're used to controllers that have the rumble in them, the rumble pack, not only is it actually kind of nice, I mean, it's not like the PlayStation 5 controller or anything, but it adds that extra weight forward too that helps kind of balance it out.
that's a
Um,
good point. Yeah, because they can be a bit light on the light side. And maybe when I was like 12, I might have felt differently, but yeah, these days it does feel quite right. And I use
feels right.
rechargeable AAA batteries, so at least I know the batteries aren't wasting away if they get depleted before I get to use it again.
Yeah.
But you reminded me of something when we're talking about these memory card accessories.
Oh yeah.
Um, just today, I was like weeks ago. I have two memory cards. So I have this one here that I painted using the Gundam marker, and I have
Uh-huh.
this original controller pack. And obviously, like when you're poor, you can only store so many game saves, and then you got to either sacrifice some or not. But
Mhm.
nowadays, I just have such a glut of games that, of course, no, under no circumstance can I use just one memory card. So I
Mhm.
was willing to buy another one, but obviously the official Nintendo one you got to pay a pretty penny for, and it's more scarce. So I found this one, and this one seemed pretty good. Now it had a switch, but the little black thing broke on the switch, so now I have to like use a pointy object to like control it. But whatever, no
Gotcha.
big deal. It's got this is a 256 megabyte, which is a quarter meg.
Right.
This is a 1 megabyte, which is really just four 256 megabyte, you know,
Okay.
whatever you call them. So reason I opened it up today was because I remember I kept every time I was saving stuff to it recently, it kept coming out corrupt.
Hmm.
And so I investigated that today, and that's how I broke that little switch apparently because it was like a very snug fit. But hey, at this point, nothing to lose, right? So it turned out,
Yeah.
yeah, I took the battery out, I licked the battery, and it didn't electrocute my tongue. So then at that point, I put a new battery in there, and
Uh-huh.
now I'm pretty confident that we're good to go. So in the future, when I stream N64, I need to make sure I have my I have a Windows 98 virtual machine. It's sort of like just Windows 98 running inside of an app,
Okay.
and it allows me to use a peripheral I have on my desk that lets me back up these memory cards. So the
Oh,
idea is that I don't want to rely on this in case the battery dies prematurely or any number of things can go wrong.
gotcha.
But also, if I only had this memory card, I can supplement the capacity by dumping the data from this and then copying game saves, shuffling them in and
Right.
out. But
Yeah.
that
Like
is something that
like
I'm
an
just
old
glad.
school. Yeah. It's a save drive, but if you have something else to manage it and hop it back and forth like a USB, just a really
Mhm.
big USB.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's another option. That would be cool if you can because I believe the OG Xbox, if you get there's a dongle cable for the OG Xbox,
Oh yeah.
and you can totally do that. You can totally plug a USB stick into a OG Xbox, and sometimes people do it for modding it. But
Hmm.
yeah, there's different options to go. And I just want to say good night to Amber. Thank you very much for having me. Good luck on your
I never.
research. Punkwater says bye, Amber, too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Thanks again for coming to my channel, and I look forward to having you on again. God bless. And say hi to the turtles. All right, I'll say hi to the turtles. My hombre Puffy. Oh, it's your humbrita. My Puffy is a humbrita? Anyway, whatever. Real quick, let's see. I saw a question up in the chat, and also shout out to LCX. It's the Monday show at the end of the week, almost. This is true.
I call it the
Halo.
Monday Thursday show, but we're not Catholic.
The Monday show on a Thursday. Look, it's to reduce confusion, because otherwise people wouldn't know where to find me because they're so accustomed to finding me on Monday that we got to do it that way. It makes the most sense, obviously, right?
Yep.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's real quick
Yeah.
shuffle the box over so people can read the chatter box.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not helpful. I still got
No.
yeah.
Okay.
See, now people are gonna get dizzy by the spaceship airlock sucking all of the stuff out. Question: why did later games like Perfect Dark need the expansion pack to replace the jumper pack? What did it expand? My balls. I'm sorry.
I think it
Well,
was
no,
the
no.
graphics. Yeah.
Yes, no, jokes aside, it was a RAM upgrade. I believe it added either 2 or 4 megabytes of RAM to the Nintendo 64.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, like some games had artificial limitations where like where like I don't know if like Donkey Kong or what. There was a couple games that didn't absolutely need it, but people who know more about Perfect Dark than me know that certain levels weren't necessarily accessible in their entirety or if at all.
At all.
So
Like, yeah, you couldn't do half the. I don't know if you could even get into story mode. I didn't actually get the expansion until later in life when I got Majora's Mask. And I
did it come
needed.
with that?
No, I got it. Sometimes I think if you bought them, some of the games I think initially did. Pops might know better that if he's still here. But I found my stuff way later in life, and so I had to like at secondhand shops and stuff. So I had to figure it out and shuffle through.
Yep, I got you. And so I do have one expansion pack in this N64. My second N64 is not modified yet, but my plan is to get an external HDMI mod. So while I did an internal mod on my N64 here, my other N64, I bought it. I have an expansion pack in my desk drawer right now. So for that N64, I do have to do soldering on the inside because when they built the N64, they didn't hook up the RGB, the red, green, and blue signal lines for video, or at least for high quality video. But once I perform that particular modification, which is a relatively simple mod, I'll be able to buy an external dongle called a RetroTink. I believe that's the correct name. They got like a couple of letters like RetroTink 4K plus or some crap like that. But I like the idea of having like two different upscaling devices that I can compare, and see which one I like. But there is a device on Amazon that is super cheap that
Yeah.
isn't an upscaler really, but it's like a quasi upscaler, and it's sort of like it doesn't require a modified N64, and it's relatively cheap and affordable. And the only thing it has is a switch that switches between widescreen and non-widescreen, and that's
Okay.
important because I bought an upscaler that you use with a VCR, and the problem I ran into was it was automatically stretching the image, so I had to manually unstretch the image in OBS, and it was doing other things to the image to upscale it and clean up the image in ways that I didn't want it to do because it was
Yeah.
really just putting me at a disadvantage, even though it might make sense if you're playing your VHS collection.
Right. But for the video game, it's distorting it basically.
Yeah. Now that said, having the ability to switch to widescreen is very helpful because last
cool.
week we actually did, and by last week I mean 3-4 weeks ago, something like that. I streamed Banjo, because was it Banjo Tooie? I forgot. I did a couple of games in widescreen, so I basically just went through a couple of games that were designed to be played in widescreen on N64, and essentially, like on a TV when you have the button that says stretch or
Yeah.
something like that, like it stretches the picture. Well, normally, like I thought that was just for people who didn't give a shit and just wanted to fill up the whole screen because they thought that was better to have people with fat heads on the screen than but black bars. But it turns out that actually has a real purpose for devices that can output a widescreen picture, but without. So when you output a widescreen picture on an N64, it still comes out as anti-widescreen, but it looks like a widescreen picture that's been crushed horizontally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
stretching it just kind of corrects that. And so yeah, we
Gotcha.
did that. Yeah, we did that a few weeks ago. But anyway, so I spent an inordinate amount of time re-encoding episodes of Macross 7. And
Okay.
what we're looking at here is 12 frames a second, which like I found out if you lower the resolution really low to a box that's like this big, like literally these two fingers,
Mm-hmm.
that you can get it to play at a higher frame rate, but most of the time it was just like not a good time. And so pardon me, I just want to get the angle. Yeah, whatever, because it's going to be as good as it gets. So anyway, what I found was the resolution dictates how good the video plays. So much trial. I wasted it in order, man. I cannot, words cannot describe how much obscene amounts of time I put into this. Like, this is like really just a waste of time. Like, I could have worked on something useful, man. So anyway,
But did you
like,
have fun?
I kind of, yeah, I had some fun. Yeah, multitasked and whatnot. So yeah, I had fun. And
Okay.
so basically, like this setting affects the quality, and I just put it in a file name so that now, I can reference it and say, okay, is this better? Is this worse? Sort of like going to an optician. So
Okay.
anyway, let's just see how this goes. And if Pop Culture Mechanic is here, he'll be delighted to see his jam on here.
We also have low spec in
Oh,
the house.
I'm gonna move the microphone lower.
Now I can't see what's on your screen.
Yeah, but you can hear it. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Good, because we're gonna play the Family Matters song soon. But you see it like plays okay, but now qualitatively or like visually, can I judge it accurately? And I don't know if I can. So how do you judge it? Well, you pause it, you go back to that menu I was talking about earlier, and you just check, like, and it'll tell you, like, and that's so basically I decided I don't need it to play at the full 10 or full 12 frames a second. If it's like 11.9, it's fine. And one of the things I noticed was sometimes it would drop frames. So when you play video and it skips, or when you're recording digital video and it skips a little bit, they call that dropping frames sometimes. And essentially, if you're only dropping frames at the beginning and the rest of it plays fine, just because it messes up the average doesn't mean that it's not playing well. So we make these trade-offs, but bottom line is that I was satisfied that I finally got here. It took like a lot of trial and error. Maybe one day if people really want to see a video about that, I'll do it. Now things that challenge it would be like if you go to do like okay, that's much better. If we go and do like fit best, and now it's two things depending on the compression settings I use, which like basically compression is where you lower the quality to make it store more data. and so you get those ugly blurry blocks in there. But you know, it is adequate. The only thing I would do is, and I apologize if that's loud.
It's a little hard to hear you over the volume of the thing.
Yeah. So basically, like in this mode, it might be something that like one can tolerate, but I'm gonna
Hmm.
need to like enlarge the subtitles like a lot, basically, you know, and like because normally you could turn the subtitles on and off, but to save CPU, I'm embedding the subtitles into the video itself, like almost like they call it burning it in sometimes. And so instead of having separate subtitles, like when you have a Blu-ray or DVD, you can turn them on and off.
Okay.
So anyway, it's satisfactory. So that's the fruits of my labor, and you know, like I think I actually got it to play closer to 20 frames a second once, but I couldn't replicate that. So basically, in short, in conclusion, for those who are interested in replicating this endeavor, you would tell, and you could go on Chat GPT and literally this is what I did. I told Chat GPT, give me an FFmpeg command that will convert a MP4 to an AVI file at 10 frames a second, and then it showed me all of the things. So when you're doing command line stuff on Linux or Windows, you'll get like something like this. And what you're seeing here is like this is the command I typed, FFmpeg. This is a program that's often built into a lot of video converter apps. Oh, I should flip
Okay.
my microphone around real quick. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, as I was saying, and then you do like you know the command followed by the file name of what you want to convert. So that's the original file, and then
Hmm.
over here is the output. This is what it's going to save it as. Oh wait, that's a double copy. We'll just go with this one. Yeah, that one there. So yeah, that's the output, and then the beginning has the input file. Then in between, it basically says convert the video to this format with this quality setting in black and white, because I was thinking that, oh, maybe it'll run faster if I do it in black and white. I certainly don't need color on a black and white screen at that frame rate. So it was originally 24 frames a second. So it's, you know, got to lower it somehow. And then this is the part that was the kicker. So if I use MP3 audio, that takes up more CPU. Like the computer in the device can't handle playing an MP3 and a video at the same time that well. So I
Okay.
picked like a audio codec that I believe they used this on Sega Genesis. I was reading some crap about it, but basically it's almost like PCM is like uncompressed wave audio. This is a version of PCM that is kind of compressed.
Okay.
And then I told it to do it in mono. And so
Ooh.
yeah, that so I'm not gonna go down in the weeds on that, but after wasting so much time on this, I had to share it, and I'm glad you're here to, you know, help bounce this off of.
That's fun. Well, it's always fun to figure out what you're tinkering with at the time.
Yeah, it's true. Because like it took, you know, trial and error. And then like this is the device that actually has the great punk water wallpaper on it too. Like, um, you know, so like this actually just works because it's like got good contrast on it. Other like
Okay.
my green screen background, I wanted to use that for fun, but it just doesn't work. I mean, it works, but it doesn't like really look right. Everything blends into everything else too much. So there's that. So lastly, on this device, and we'll take a quick look at the other device so you guys can get like an A/B comparison here. Um, we're gonna open up an episode of Urkel, aka Family Matters.
Mm.
It's atomic.
That was a fun show.
Alrighty, there we go. So this is interesting because this is a storage card that only has limited capacity. I mean, let me phrase it. This device doesn't let you have large file systems. Like you have to like partition. Basically, you can't have more than 4 gigs on here. So I had to split a 16 gig memory card into multiple 4 gig partitions, and that works. So it's like okay, then in that case, the limitation is almost null and void.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, for these things, you don't have that big of a file, do you?
Um, that's another thing. So depending on yes and no, but no, these files are obscenely small. They're like between 10 and 20 megs. And I
Okay.
found that a file up to 40 megabytes plays reliably, but then when you start getting beyond 50 or 60 megs, it gets weird. And so it's kind of this is a weird thing I discovered. So not really discovered, but with video compression, like modern computers, we take a lot for granted. But on older computers, uh, a compressed video requires more CPU because while you're playing the video, it has to decompress it and load it into your RAM, and then it has to continually do that for future frames. And so a video that should be like 500 megabytes can be like 100 megs because of this capability. But it means that the computer has to do more legwork to make that possible. Um, But if you use an uncompressed video codec, just because it uses up less CPU doesn't necessarily mean your computer's going to have a good time with it, because now the data stream is larger than what the computer can handle in 1 second or whatever, like megabytes per second, for example. And so
Yeah.
there's like this weird balancing act, basically. And that's one of the reasons why I use a Firewire camcorder to, I don't know
Okay.
why I'm having such a hard
Man,
time
I
with that.
haven't even thought about Firewire in forever.
Yeah, well, what happened was like I found that FireWire was really handy for digitizing VHS tapes because
Okay.
it turns out like I got to get a new VCR still, but like it's essential. It's an essential part of my workflow. So we're gonna play this
Okay.
out loud. I'm gonna not talk over it because I know I'm gonna be unhearable, and I'm gonna try to.
Probably.
I thought maybe I gotta adjust my. Oh, that's okay. That's adequate.
That's funny, David.
Oh, I missed a lot of chat.
Yeah, did you see that? It's got the bends.
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
I think so.
Yeah, no, I don't want my device getting the bends. Unless you're getting a Mercedes Benz I can drive.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. If I could get a Mercedes Benz every time I decompressed, I'd probably go diving more often.
Oh, heck yeah, yeah. I might even go and get the Benz to get.
Like a deep dive. I feel like as an aquatic animal, it'd be problematic if I didn't do occasional diving.
I believe your kind can dive pretty deep.
Yeah, yeah. It's just having the capability of doing something, but actually, taking the time to do it is the thing.
Did you see Pop Culture Mechanics chat? He says that Urkel might have done the voice of Sonic in the cartoon.
Yeah, I think you're right. Jaleel White did a lot of actually. I mean, he's known for being Urkel, but he did a lot of other stuff, and he's been behind the scenes in a lot of things too. I think he's more around. I mean, he had a great cameo in Agent Cody Banks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Although I think I was too old for Cody Banks when it came out.
Okay, I just hit a button on the device that killed the audio, but
No.
that's all right. We got you guys get the idea.
Wait,
And,
did you just say the video just killed the radio star?
no, I said I hit a button that killed the audio. But
But
hey,
the
we'll go with
video's
that.
still going. Only
Yep.
one can win.
Now it won't play the audio until like I reset or exit the app or some crap. But anyway, so that's that, and I think we got and yeah, Pop Culture Mechanics, right? Now I can turn my lights back on. Macross 7 had a killer OST. It really did. I mean, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I know. I need to get that. Need to get on that Macross.
You never got into Macross, right?
Well, I think I've bought a series or two on Blu-ray when it was on sale, but then it's in a box somewhere. And I actually
Okay. I didn't even know you could get them on Blu-ray. What I did was I had to get a Chinese counterfeit. Like I had to go on eBay.
well, I don't know which Macross it is. It might be a later series or version, right?
It could be it could be it's not Robotech, right?
No, it said Macross. I just don't remember.
Yeah, it could be so many. If I had to guess, I'll send you a message. Wait, man, I answered your question before, man. But anyway, yeah, now we can get real quick. We'll just show you guys the modern alternative. I went ad nauseum into the answer to that question, bro. But I'll send you a message. So that's handy. But that's okay. We can do this. That's the Katamari Damacy wallpaper right there. It's a great game. But this one here is a late model. So what we were just looking at is from 1998. And
Okay.
I didn't really show the in-between model, but just for reference, they came out. This is an E15.
It's a Palm Pilot thing, right? Basically.
Exact same form factor. This is a Cassiopeia, but
Right.
basically it's the Palm Pilot equivalent. Like it does the personal information management. It's got the calendar. It's got the contacts. It's got all of those like organizer thingies.
And Palm was just the brand name, but that's all they did, as far as I remember. They didn't have all the other
Yeah.
tech, and they kind of died out after some.
They started doing like mobile data on theirs, and like some of these. That's one of the things like about this one here. The memory card slot is where you would put a modem, an Ethernet adapter, or potentially Wi-Fi. Although Wi-Fi wasn't really a thing in this form factor at the time, and this would be about 1997. This
Okay.
would have been like a bit later than 97, but you can clearly see it's got the same heritage. You know, it's got like the
Mm-hmm.
it's a bulkier color version. One thing I like about this is it takes AAA batteries. Both of these take one of these. So the idea is that if the batteries die, this battery is what keeps your memory alive until you change the battery. Or if you take out the battery, you got a switch that unlocks the battery door. And
Mm-hmm.
so if your secondary battery is dead when you unlock the battery door, you lose your data. Which you can always do backups and stuff, but you know, you can imagine how inconvenient that could be sometimes
Yeah.
compared to what we take for granted today. But literally same thing. Stereo sound on this one, whereas this one is a mono earplug they call it, like it's just like mono sound. But you could plug headphones in and get sound on both ears. It just won't be stereo. So that's one of the things that is helpful in my case because to get video on here, we can disable stereo sound. We can play it in mono, and that helps to reduce the overhead. And the reason for this whole endeavor is that if there's ever a power outage or another big hurricane where I lose power, obviously the top priority is how am I going to watch movies, you know, as opposed to staying alive. But the idea is that like I can play movies on this, like because I have the ability to recharge AA, AAA batteries using solar power. So hypothetically, I could just like do that, right? Have a crap ton of these rechargeable AAAs and just watch movies on here. And like the stuff that I think is ideal would be maybe like episodes of I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, you know, all of the black and white crap should be like, you know, I mean, it's clearly it was intended to be watched in black and white. So this is the device to do that on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's that. But this device here, yeah, so this is the E125. They had an E105, they had an E100, E105, and I think an E115 maybe. But either way, we skip right past it. The internal memory would share with the RAM, so having a memory card was helpful because obviously you could like make sure that you have more RAM. Because if you open up too many apps and you're using too much internal memory, it's like
Mm-hmm.
literally imagine like if you don't have a hard drive and the RAM on your computer is the only place you can store stuff. That's basically what these are. But this is a 2005 model here, so this is a late model by HP. And what's weird about this one is I had to buy one that was like half broken, and whenever I put the screws into this one, the touchscreen stops working properly. So I literally can't put the screws in because the touchscreen, I don't know if there's like a grounding issue or it short circuits itself, but when you put all the screws in, the touchscreen don't work anymore. So I'm like, all right, fine, we'll just tape
Oops.
it shut.
Oops.
But this one's cool because it has both memory card slots. Got what they call compact flash and SD card, and of course with an SD card you can put an adapter in there and put a small micro SD card. In fact, I have an SD card adapter in here too. So actually, I can put regular CF cards, or this is an adapter card here. So we have flexibility there. And certainly this will be a better movie playing device, but you know, I can't put AAA batteries in here. So I'd have to use a USB power bank. And my guess is that in the event of a hurricane, I'm going to want to, you know, save my USB power bank for my phone because that's like life and death and not
Yeah.
charge this thingamajig up. But, you know, maybe like I keep it for a camping trip or some crap like that, you know, something. Although that doesn't sound appealing now that I think about it because, you know, one thing we take for granted on modern devices, well, maybe we don't take it for granted, but one thing that's great about modern devices, did you see where I put the pen?
Where'd you put the pen?
Okay, no, just checking in case you saw me, in case anybody in the chat saw me put the stylus pen somewhere, let me know. But otherwise, we don't need the pen right now. I just, you know, I had a little, see the little pen.
Yeah. No,
But
I
no,
was,
no biggie. I'll find it later. I'll use the other pen. So anyway, real quick, just give you guys a quick
they
glimpse.
said that the pen is mightier.
But the stylus is not as mighty as the pen.
Mm.
At least I believe so. So right off the bat, you can see like it's humongously better.
Yeah.
And I actually encoded this.
But
I just
if I
rewinded it.
Yeah.
Trying to
Newsprint,
load.
paperboards, news on TV. Family. Did I do that?
It's actually the extended cut. Like they're riding bikes.
We got some person in the chat.
We do. We have many some persons. The pen is probably under the tablet. there's crack under the tablet, so I can't show you that. I'm kidding. I don't have crack under the tablet. I have crack cocaine under the tablet. Okay, that's just awful. That's funny. They broke the window. Oh, do you remember her? She went to her bedroom in one episode and she never came back for like the whole fucking series.
What was her name?
Molly, Judy, or Molly? Jamie Foxworth, I think. But the actress is yeah, she'll be right here. Let's see. Okay, and then in season 7, Harriet is replaced too. So I remember watching the season premiere of season 7, and it's like another woman now. Like, what the hell is going on? And like, hey, Harriet. I'm like, what do you mean, hey, Harriet? That's not fucking Harriet. There we go, Jamie Foxworth. Yeah, that's the girl. I'm like, what do you mean, hey, Harriet? This lady's got a perm and a short haircut and don't look anything like Judy. It was Judy. Thank you, Mary.
Judy.
I gotta see if they got that in the wiki. It sounds like Hey Jude, but not. Oh yeah, that is Hey Jude. Yeah, they literally say that.
Judah. I promise I haven't turned into drunk water. I was just drinking Sprite.
No, drunk water is a separate person, of course.
Yeah, drunk water is a totally different hiccup.
He's in Canada.
Yeah,
Pop Culture Mechanic visits him sometimes. That's how he gets those videos. He goes to his house to pick up the tape.
I do think I'm gonna be honest. I ordered a second hat because I misplaced the first, and I'm not sure where either of them are. It's part of the reason why he hasn't shown up lately.
Well, it's understandable that drunk water would misplace a hat. I mean, like in the lore at least, right? It's like people are like, why do you have a different hat? It's like, I don't know, I was drunk, can't find the shit.
He did get excited. He did find his BlackBerry crown, though.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know they made phones that had a crown on them. BlackBerry phones are great. Oh, BlackBerry Crown Royale. That's good stuff, though. I do like me some crown. Can I make my light brighter now? Oh, I gotta turn my other light.
I think the BlackBerry released like a year ago, and it was like crazy go nuts trying to find some first.
Yeah. Now we got the atomic flash of illumination. La 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 la, Judy. If we had super chats, I could charge money for people to have me stop singing. I'd be like, if you don't want me to sing, donate now.
Yeah.
I think that's a great business opportunity for me.
It is. I mean, why do you think the horse costs so much?
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, the horse. That's like amazing. The horse. Like I love that microphone with the ears on it. I mean, I don't love it. It's kind of creepy, but like I just think it's hilarious. Like that they have these microphones with the ears, and then the horse is all like slurping on it, and everyone's like, "Oh, the
slurp!" Yeah. You know, the world is full of winnies and losers.
Winnies and losers?
Well, I would say winners, but winnies the sound a horse makes.
Yes, that is true. DJ looks exceptionally Italian tonight. That's because I'm using my mousse product that I bought in the great state of Texas, the Lone Star Republic. And at the time, my hair was too short to be curly, but now it's good. And this means I bought myself an extra week so I can book my haircut appointment for next week, because I'm afraid of booking it this weekend and not getting it this week, or booking it this weekend and like not getting enough sleep. So I figure if I do it next week, I can plan my week and make sure I actually, am on a good schedule where I can, go to bed and wake up with sleep. Sleep is nice. Otherwise, I go to the haircut place, the barberist, with like, no sleep and stuff. Next, you need to sing Yoko Ono's response to Trump. Oh, did you ever hear that one? Did you ever hear Yoko Ono's? Why is it not coming up on my screen?
Oh, this is the one from the first time around, right?
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. I've only heard I can't remember how many times I've actually heard Yoko Ono sing in real life, but growing up, I watched Pinky and the Brain. And they taught me everything I know because, Yoko Ono.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I remember she'd be like, or something like that.
Yeah,
but
that's everything I never needed to know about.
That's the OG right there. Okay, here we go. I actually have a copy of the Yoko Ono video on my computer so that I can loop it easily.
I did buy the first 3 seasons of Pinky and the Brain. I didn't really care for the Pinky and the Brain and Elmira. but I do have those on DVD somewhere.
Really? That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Actually, sounds like that's a good show. I like that show. Oh, don't tell me it's not gonna let me share my audio. Let's see here. Okay, we're gonna play.
All my money goes to Amazon, right?
I'm going to do something real quick because when my sound went out, I had to unplug my sound interface. So I'm going to close OBS and reopen it. But luckily we're in VStream, so nothing bad should happen. So I'll be right back. Feel free to talk or not talk, or to crack jokes, or to make fun of. Don't make fun of the chat, but I mean it's up to you. I'll be back.
Well, chat, it's just you and me. Well, you and me. Oh, now I'm big. That's even cooler. Pop culture mechanic. I think you have a boogie. Yeah, I think you have a boogie right there. I do remember Freakazoid. You know, awesome one. I want to say in the last few years, I didn't. I bought a lot of music, and I did go through the vinyl stage, and I don't really buy music as much as I used to, but I do have started buying more DVDs and Blu-rays of shows that I liked. I used to think that I would never buy a TV series, but then I bought Community at some point, probably when they were halfway through, probably the third season or whatever. But I started buying those DVDs because you like something, and you figure eventually they'll take it away or they'll change it. All right, who hurt the elephant? Are we gonna hit for copyright? Because I'm sure the algorithm knows that's the only song that this sounds like this.
I'm gonna give it a shot. It sounds like Formula One.
You kind of, yeah. Straightaway, she's in the straight. Oh, going in for the turn. Gotta put a handbrake on that.
Oh no. He's hitting the soft wall.
Okay. I'm gonna say. I don't know.
Yep.
I think this is. Are you auto tuning it now?
I'm just increasing and reducing the speed.
I think we should auto tune this. Since that was
Yo, dude.
15 years ago.
I think I have an idea. I don't know the meaning of auto-tune, but I do know I have an app called Audacity, and I have the audacity to give this a shot.
There's no tarnation left.
Tarnation?
Yeah, he said what? Dude McMahon said what in tarnation. Also, Dude McMahon, I heard you were on a trivia show last night. Actually, weren't you, Ronnie, too?
That sounds vaguely familiar. Oh, yeah, I did join Stalk of Iron's show. I came off work. I joined right after work. Yeah. We had a good time. That was cool.
I was talking about the other show, but yeah.
I don't know if I was on the other show.
Dude McMahon.
Oh wait, yeah, Floral Show. That was yesterday. Yes, and I missed like 3, maybe 4 answers, and maybe I was checking something on my handheld computers, or maybe I was sidetracked because I just joined, like I was invited at the start of the show. I forget which one. But either which way, whatever excuse I'm making up, as Wilton would say, that is just an excuse. Yeah, he'd be like, those are excuses. Here we are. We're gonna do. We got our girl Yoko here, and this is actually a better version of it, because with this version of Yoko, oh no, oh yes, I have the Yoko Ono Double Fantasy album, and I created a playlist that skips all of her tracks.
There's no songs.
John Lennon does the other half.
Oh, okay.
So it's a cool thing you could do. You could like increase the speed through this little slider here.
I feel like people are gonna leave and never come back. Don't commit channel.
it's important we commemorate that event, this atrocity. You know, when people talk about Japanese atrocities during World War II, what they don't realize is that this vastly overshadows all of it. All of it. Every last bit
You
of
know,
it. Every
why
last
don't
bit.
you wait a few more days and play it on Monday, right?
Why Monday?
Isn't that the 20th?
Oh yeah, inauguration day. Yeah, you're right. I should do maybe a dedicated upload and do a remix. So my idea, and
In
this is
honor of the
amateur.
new president.
Yeah. So this is amateur hour here, at least for my view. This is something I'll probably do off camera after we end it shortly.
And
But
maybe you could, you can
let's just.
edit, then see if, send it over to Makini, and maybe he could do a couple things to add some beats.
Hmm. I would trust his ideas and input. You know, he might actually have great ideas, and I know he knows. Like you know, you guys are more keen on the AI, or
I I don't.
creation.
He actually does some sound mixing. Like he's actually mixed some of the joke songs that Loki made and kind of turned him into a Cali dance groove. So yeah. No, that's throwing a hernia,
So
dude, man. That's throwing a lot of hernias. There's
let's just take a guess here. I'm just gonna take a quick guess here. Okay, we got a bunch of
sea
these buttons here,
lions.
right? There's got to be an auto tune in here somewhere, or add real time effects, maybe.
It's puzzle.
Add effect, audacity, distortion, reverb, wah 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 wah. I like the idea of a wah wah effect. That sounds like a good
Yeah.
time there. I don't know what is that. Wait, oh, there's the
Oh,
parameters.
you've already
Okay,
lost one sub due to Yoko.
which
Pop
one?
Culture Mechanic said he unsubbed due to Yoko.
I can empathize. I can totally empathize. I'm sorry, Pop. Ni audacity. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna do I don't even know. We're gonna try a little more resonance.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do a 30%. You know, it's already got the parameters in there. So let's just see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Parameterize.
Oh,
Okay.
we got gold here.
Yeah, this is way more tolerable. Did you just speed it up?
I didn't do anything except just turn on that wah wah filter. Unsure if those are throws of passion or hernia. Why not both? Sometimes you throw your back out during moments of passion, as as would happen. I mean, I wouldn't know, but yeah. Someone put this sound over a balloon being deflated. Oh yeah. Oh no, the balloon sound. You know the noise they make. Oh no, there goes Tokyo. Go go Yoko. Oh no. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin Yoko.
It does sound a little bit more like a cat. David Glenn has a point.
That's downright disturbing. What's up, awesome one? It's a girl who just ate Taco Bell on the crapper. It happens.
Uh-huh.
Yoko, please go back to the padded room. Maybe that's why we didn't see her this year. Hey, what up, Peter Venkman? The Peter Venkman fan site. There's a puppy trying to eat my hair. I don't know if that's real life or if that's a reference to Yoko, but it might be a reference to Yoko. That would totally make sense. Whoever's hurting that cat should stop. All right, let's see what does that say?
Balloon.
Currently watching. Oh, Quantum Leap is a good show, so my wife can get exposed to it. Yeah, dude, I love the OG Quantum Leap. You ever see Quantum Leap, Waddle?
A little bit, yeah.
It's a fun show. I mean, it has its moments, both good and bad, but
that's
mostly
the guy
good.
who ended up in Star Trek, right?
Yep, that's right. Scott Bakula, Captain Jonathan Archer of the Enterprise NX-01.
But then, do you remember Sliders, which was similar?
Yeah, well, Quantum Leap and Sliders differ because while Quantum Leap is about a man who can leap into the bodies of other people within anywhere in time within his own lifetime. So he's a boomer. He's born in 1950, and it's the year 1999. It takes place in the future in 1999, and so once he steps into the Quantum Leap accelerator, he's somehow being dragged. Almost like soul swapping. You know? So you're swapping souls.
It's like Sliders. They just went into other different worlds.
Yeah, and that did not involve time travel. I don't recall ever having any time travel, but I wouldn't be surprised if they had a time travel incident in Sliders. I could totally imagine them being because somebody left the microwave on while we were jumping through the
I
portal,
think
we
there
went
was an
back in
episode
time.
of
You know,
Sliders where they did, or somebody did get put inside somebody else's body, but I could be wrong. Maybe I was just a kid
it's
and I
entirely.
just cross-circuited it enough times that I can't remember the difference.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did it as a one-off because you know these things happen. You know, they do these things in science fiction. You
Yeah.
know, sometimes they got to change it up. Someone dies and they want to bring back to life, so you got to do time travel. Wait, did I vote for Babe of the Week on Phil's, but didn't watch that much? Huh.
Mm.
That's funny when it happens. That's why I'm afraid to vote in polls. I don't want to vote for like a movie that I'm not going to watch. So I want to make sure if I vote, I'm watching it.
That's
Sliders with Jerry McConnell. Yo,
I
sorry,
was
say
gonna
what?
say that's very kind of you. There's a lot of people that would vote and run away just to torment the people who actually showed up.
Yo, that's messed up, dude. But yo, real quick reference, everyone. Maybe I should pull up the video. But Jerry O'Connell did a mad funny video. It was a teaser to a Sliders series that's coming out. It's not coming out, but it was a hilarious teaser. Like he's like 50 years old, and it's almost like he's got a sense of humor. This guy, like he's like almost bragging on the fact that he's like, oh, you can watch a show where I'm like 50 years old or some shit like that. And I thought it's kind of cool. Hey, what up, Jolly? Good to see you. Snow Dub of Jolly, Jolly of Snow Dub, Snow Dub of Jolly, or Jolly, one of those. Or is it Mr. Cool? Because he's got a picture of a snowman. So why do I call him Snow Dub? Why do I call him? Should I be calling him Mr.
No,
Cool?
because Snowdub came first. Mr. Cool was a puppet that was emulated by the Snowdub emblem
I see. It's
avatar.
like when parents put. So it's like when parents put a picture of their kids in their avatar.
Well, no, it was more that somebody made a puppet based off the Snow's avatar, which I believe has been with him for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's a good
Well, it's more
avatar.
than just an avatar, but that's his thing to say. I do like that Dude McMahon is now talking about Applebee's appetizer menu, sliders and wings.
Yeah, pretty good. It does sound like a Applebee's sliders and wings. Sounds like a slider. Sounds like an Applebee's menu item. But those were wait. But those were their two favorite shows. Wings equals Tony Shalhoub. Ah. Oh yeah, wings. Yeah. I vaguely remember. That's the one with the airplanes, right? Was it like Jag?
Probably not exactly like Jag.
Okay, I thought it was like a courtroom airplane
Didn't have
show. But I might
Catherine,
be
whatever her name
cross-circuiting.
is.
Hmm.
And I'm sure
Jerry
somebody
was
in
sexy.
the chat knows
Oh
which
yeah, I guess he was.
Catherine I'm talking about.
If anyone knows, chime in. But yes, Jerry McConnell, if I was a girl, I might find him sexy, but I'm not, so I cannot comment on that. But he wasn't an ugly guy. I mean, I wouldn't mind looking like him back in 1999. I'm getting ready for work. Have a wonderful night, DJ Ronnie G. No, you have a wonderful night, California Ford 44, and thank you for dropping by.
Yeah.
I mostly hang out with comic book nerds and artists. So you might be getting them here. Oh, that's cool. Good people who actually know about because I don't know about comics. Like I kind of have an idea. Like I have a few Star Trek comics, and I know about Superman as being super, and I know that Batman has no powers, but he's still cool. And I know that one time Superman was hooking up with Wonder Woman, but then when he left and he said faster than a speeding bullet, the Invisible Man was all like, "Oh, my butt is killing me." You ever hear that joke? I said that out of sequence, but you know the joke. I've been called Snow for 30 years. Ah, and he had that Jolly puppet goes way back. I love when we see pictures of Jolly's puppet like when he was a youth. That's just kind of cool to see those throwbacks. Yeah, it was a sitcom at an airfield. Okay, so it's not the court procedural drama that I was picturing in my head.
You can't handle the court procedural drama.
Yeah, true. I can't. I'd probably get bored by it. Oh no! Speaking of can't handling things, I know it's not English, but I do have something that I don't know if I'll be able to handle. But it's like snapping into a Slim Jim. So we're gonna crank up the volume.
Oh, no.
Hopefully, this is not a
check.
mistake. What the heck? He's not even saying it. I was expecting him to say snap into a Slim Jim.
How long is this video?
Oh god. Oh, it's a stream. Okay. I thought it was actually like anyway, the link is in the chat. That is a guy named I thought he was showing me. I thought he was sending me a clip. I just realized it's a 3-hour stream, which is cool. We appreciate that. And look, some person's in the chat. But anyway, I thought it was a clip of a wrestling guy saying snap into a Slim Jim. That's like what I was expecting to see just now.
That was a lot of inhales without exhaling.
I think it's a method of keeping warm. So real quick, let's see what happens if we take Yoko Ono. No, I think it really is like Russian special forces or some crap.
Did you slow it down?
We could try.
No, you don't. No, don't slow it down. Okay, no, that sounds like a whoopee cushion.
It literally sounds like you can't even
If you
hear.
put a little distortion, it'd sound like somebody's in the wood shop. You know, like a little bandsaw.
I think we might be able to pull that off. So here's what we're gonna do here. We're gonna add another effect real
Okay.
quick. You said distortion, right? Okay, that's an option. Let's see here. So there's the preset options. Hard clipping, soft clipping, even harmonics. I guess even harmonics. Let me know if anything jumps out at you as something I should do differently.
Okay, let's try. Are you doing hard clipping or soft clipping right now?
I have no idea. What should I do?
Try hard clipping. It might be really
Cool. Okay, we'll do hard clipping. Let's see what happens when we play it back.
See, that sounds like a muffled saw.
It sounds like someone getting murdered. It sounds like someone's been taken hostage, put a gag on their face, and like, like they're trying to get out. Like that sounds like a great way for me to get the cops.
Yeah, maybe soft
play
clipping.
That my speakers.
Maybe get to the soft clipping.
Let's try safety first. Soft clipping. I don't know if it's a real time effect.
That sounds a little bit different. It is real time. It's the clipping, the gate. It allows for a little bit more reverb, and because it does sound like vibrating, the soft clipping makes it sound better. See, because the hard clipping with reverb, it just kind of kills it. It's antithetical to. Yeah, a hard clip is antithetical to reverb and any of those effects. Play it backwards, she says.
Oh, that's a great idea. Yep. It might be like join Satan or some crap like that. So we better try it out because that's how the Beatles do it, right?
Well, somebody did.
Now say, LL's got a reference here. Now say, yamate kudasai oni-chan sasono basho wa dame. I think that was halfway decent Japanese pronunciation on my part.
A lot better than I could do.
Yeah, one time I watched Mobile Suit Victory Gundam without the subtitles, and I didn't know the subtitles weren't on for like 10 minutes. So I don't know. I guess I might have understood something.
Well, some of those shows you can kind of see what's happening. Sometimes they're not super complex.
All right, there we go.
Probably missed some nuance.
Yeah, it's true. Honestly, it's true. Like Mobile Suit flying, attack bad guy. Oh, someone got shot in the leg. Land, jump out of the fighter. Someone else jumps in. I mean, like that's all pretty straightforward. Yeah.
So this is forward or backwards?
This is backwards. I'm gonna try doing it without the preset in a moment. The effect. I believe I can turn off the effects without like deleting them. It really just sounds like someone's being drowned. All right, I'm gonna lower the volume for everyone's sake, and then we can bring it back up if it's, if it's not loud enough. But I figure that you guys will appreciate it more if I lower it.
It's just quick. It sounds way more pleasant backwards. And that's saying something. Yeah. Yeah, Mary, I think it's already ruined, so anything can be lateral to forward, upward momentum.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the middle part and we're gonna just play it back at a high speed, and we're gonna keep the other two as they are. So backwards, forwards, backwards, okay. And then we'll wrap it up and we'll do any closing arguments or final thoughts.
Okay.
And anything you may or may not want to promote. Okay. Let's see, speed, phaser, fuck it. We're doing the
Oh,
phaser. I don't even
phaser.
give a
Yeah,
shit
we're
about
doing
speed
phase.
anymore.
Set phasers to fun.
Oh, I gotta turn it on? Is that wait? It didn't really do anything. Wait, is that I guess that's a phaser, but
Yeah.
maybe there's another phaser. Oh, here was one.
What are your options in the phaser, though? I mean, you can hear
Well,
it, but it's a quick phase. It is a
we got stun, we got kill. No, I'm kidding, but we got stages dry, wet. Maybe it's gotta be more
make
wet.
it wet.
Oh, that sounded cool. I just heard like a weird like digital sound or some crap.
That was something else. There it is.
It sounds like the transporter accident from Star Trek: The Motion Picture.
Yeah, that's definitely wet.
Enterprise. What we got back didn't live long, fortunately. That's like a real line from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. They had this scene where the transporter is being like worked on, and someone gets beamed up from like the space station or Earth, and in the middle of beaming up, the some shit starts blowing up. So Captain Kirk and Scotty run to the transporter room, and Rand is trying to beam these people up, and it's like things are not working right. And then the people start materializing on the transporter pad. And so Captain Kirk or Scotty takes over the transporter controls to try to finish it out and send the people back to their point of origin. And as it's happening, the people are freaking out like, oh my God, they're forming. And you hear these guttural screams from inside the transporter matter streams. Like it's just a great scene. And when they remastered the movie on Blu-ray, for some reason they screwed around with some of that. Not that scene in particular. I think that scene came out fine though. But yeah, cool sound effects, very scary, and basically they got a lump of roast beef, or like they got a pot roast back on the transporter pad on the other side. So that's why the transporter operator was like, it didn't live long, fortunately. There's Klingons on the starboard bow. Oh yeah, that was a fun thing to watch. Some weeks ago we did Star Trek fan films, and then everyone started submitting like other fan films that I wasn't familiar with, but they were giving me the parody stuff. And some of it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Set phases to ear puncture. I'll work on a YouTube short, and we'll get that out. For your eardrums. And yeah, so Slim Nim shared a link if you scroll up. It's the reference to Star Trek we were talking about. I believe that's a song. Playing this could be a violation of the Geneva Convention. Yes, that's true, and this is exactly why I say. Does it count if Japan didn't sign on to the Geneva Conventions? Well, I think they did now, but during World War II, they did not. But I digress. I think we had plenty of fun with that. And at least now we have a template of something I could do other than putting movies on a handheld computer that will be fun for you guys as well as me. And perhaps we can have that ready for Inauguration Day because, I think it's important that we celebrate that. So with that being said, real quick, is there anything in the chat that I missed that's really important? I mean, everything's important, but you know how long it takes to read the whole chat. So I'm going to avoid that with, respect to anybody who said anything. Trying to eat my hair and nip my hands. Oh, the cat. It's the wail of some Lovecraftian eldritch horror from beyond the deep of space. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, what up, Low Spec? So yeah, pot roast. Yeah, I don't know if you'll like that pot roast. You might actually like it. It could be really good. I've heard mixed reviews about that, but I wouldn't know. I hear it's unhealthy to eat man if you're a man, especially the brains. That's really bad, apparently. Like, they had these tribes in Africa. They would give the kids the brains because the idea is that when someone dies, the warriors eat the muscle to get strong. The kids eat the brains to get smart or wisdom. But of course, it turns out that a bunch of crappy parasites are in the brains, so that like not good. Yeah, not good. Does not make them smarter.
Yeah.
Now add some music in the back. What do you mean? That is music. Music to my ears. And I'm sorry that the chat box is not malaligned, but yes. That is music, awesome one. That is totally music. It was the new science officer. It was the new science officer, Rand, who was the yeoman on the original series, if I'm remembering correctly the reference here. But yeah, yeoman Janice Rand. And with that being said, Punk Waddle, is there anything you'd like to share, say, engage, promote, disengage, or make fun of?
That's a lot of options.
You could do any, all, or one.
Well, yeah, don't eat brains, but I've got my PSA tomorrow morning about some thoughts on automobile preventative car maintenance. Just some thoughts on road tripping and when we spend a lot of time in our cars. And then got the ice house as per usual, and then Loki's having a show tomorrow night, which he usually does. I'll probably be there and be hanging out with everybody. And yeah, I'm just waddling
Oh
along,
yeah, today's
trying
Thursday.
to function, like we all do. So, oh
I still got to watch.
yeah,
Mhm.
did you start playing Fortnite yet?
I did not. I mean, I downloaded it.
Mm.
I'm gonna try it out. I want to play it alone just to make sure I'm comfortable playing it. I might have to visit a friend this week. Not have to, but I might visit a friend this week, so I might do Fortnite next week. But between now and next week, I'll jump in on a Fortnite game, whether or not I'm prepared.
Well,
But
I,
my
I will
mate.
offer
Mhm.
the if you want to play off stream with somebody, I could probably be available.
Okay, I'll let you know. Like I said, I mean, did it have a single player mode, by the
Yeah,
way?
so we can talk more about it, but the battle royale, they have single player, they have teams and all that stuff.
Okay, so I just want to I think I played it on my cousin's PlayStation years ago. I just want to make sure I'm still able, but um, my PlayStation 5 controller kind of stopped working the way I like it to work, so I've been using this. But this now that it's properly configured and working, I'm good to
Hmm.
go. Um,
Well, that's
Clean your yards and stay safe. Don't eat brains. I have to watch Loki's after this. I got to watch Loki's Wednesday show because I always like to watch his Wednesday YouTube talk. I enjoy
yeah.
it, and even if I sleep past it, I try to catch it. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I just learned to don't cut into raw meat to tenderize it as it may let disease in the deep tissue. Yeah, actually, that's interesting. The way, so yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole. And LCX did cover the whole topic of people who want their meat raw, people who want medium rare. I highly recommend checking out the stream or the video on the topic. It's a good time. And a lot of good gags in there, a lot of good reality based jokes in there, such as restaurants that undercook their meat. Hell, you should probably call the freaking the what do you call them people? The health department. But yet people prefer their meat uncooked. But jokes aside, as long as the steaks outside is cooked, usually the inside doesn't get contaminated unless it's really crappy
Right.
quality. And that's why you don't have to cook the inside. But that being said, if you cook it slowly, you can make the insides good too. But not every chef wants to do that, or not every chef knows how to do that. And then there's the whole tenderization thing that Austin one mentioned as well. But that's a whole other rabbit
That's
hole.
that's why your ground
Um,
meat, they say it's better to have it cooked a little more thoroughly because of all
yeah, that makes logical sense, especially ground meat. I mean, considering it's ground meat. I mean, your chat is off screen. I know I'm trolling you. No, I forgot. Actually, forgot. Thank you, awesome one. Off screen, but I read it out loud anyway, so you guys know what I'm
that.
saying. Catch Loki's Mornings of Mischief on in the morning. It's in the morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 8 a.m. Can you believe he wakes up at 8 a.m. to do that show? I could never imagine waking up at 8 a.m. to do
Yeah.
a show. My goodness,
Well,
that
then
man.
when you've got
Whew.
like Polly who's popping in the chat and it's 6 a.m. for his time out in California, like,
Oh goodness, yeah,
and
that's true. That's
I
true. That's true. That's wild.
and
I just skip going to
I've
bed.
admitted even to Loki that lately I've caught myself not waking up with the alarm and coming in halfway through the show, or every now and then staying up too late and missing the show entirely.
Yep. I know what to do. Sometimes I'll tune in bed if I'm up at the time. It's like okay, I'll tune in bed and watch it. Oh, my light is still on, and then maybe I'll roll over and fall asleep, or maybe I'll stay awake and then I'll just keel over and fall back asleep at 10 sharp. Or then Makini comes on and I'll come in the chat a little bit. But typically I'm always in the chat on Sundays, Mondays, and Tuesdays because those are the days where Mondays and Tuesdays when I'm at
Yeah.
work. And if it's in between getting paperwork done or whatever, I can do that. But with that being said, that's a whole rabbit
Mhm.
hole. What is there? Something wrong with the morning streaming? No, nothing at all. I get it. I get it. Well, yes and no, pop culture mechanic, but mainly it's a me problem, not a you problem, right? You actually you do quite well to stream on Saturdays at early times. But yeah, I mean, like, I think 12:30 is actually okay. I think Pop is still streaming around that time, but I think he starts at like 11 on Saturday, I believe. But no, I am not here to bash people who stream in the morning. I'm here to bash the idea of expecting me to be awake in the morning.
I ain't got to be up for work.
Exactly. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Awesome One Pop Coach Mechanic, who's been here for the long haul
There he
tonight.
is.
Dude McMahon, David Glenn, Mary White, very true, right? The Peter Venkman fan site, Bow, Bow. Hey! We'll talk about Japanese people next week.
Yeah.
Cry, baby, cry.
What about Johnny Depp?
Dude McMahon, did I say?
What about Johnny Depp?
What about him?
Crybaby? Anyway.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a
reference. I only
movie.
know 21 Jump Street
Yeah.
and the Pirates of the
It's an older
Caribbean.
movie.
Caribbean or Caribbean?
Sure.
Why do people say it like that? Anyway, they went from mosquito to. I'm not going to read the chat. I just want to say everyone's name. LCX, who has a great channel. Dude McMahon, who might have a channel. Snowdub, who also has a great channel. California Ford 44, who is one of the sweetest, coolest people I know, and I'm glad they're back in their house in, as you can guess what state they're presently in, and I'm just glad they're back home right now. What's the new one about again? Oh wait, out of context reference. Oh, the sliders thing. I don't know. It's just like a teaser trailer. I think he just made it as a joke or something like that, which is what makes it exceptionally funny to watch. I'll put it in a community post for you, Venkman, and I'll tag you if I find it. But yeah, and Vulcan Lives was here too. Vulcan Lives, great guy. Yeah, I believe in the lives of Vulcans. He's got like a 40K dude on there too.
Nice.
Yeah, right. So Cruise 119. We've missed you on Under a Rock, Punk. Hope all is well with you.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm doing all right, and yeah, appreciate it.
I want to be a wishing well. Actually, do I? I mean, unlimited water, but then, like, if someone contaminates the well, I digress.
Okay, well, did you
Get it well
see
in.
Wonderworld 84? He became the Wishing Rock, and it kind of almost killed him.
Ooh, I did not, but I was told to skip.
Yeah, don't watch
I mean,
it.
I should watch movies.
It was.
I shouldn't listen to the crowd, but it seemed like a worthwhile movie to skip.
It was long, and it wasn't until like I had a lot of free time and it was on Tubi or something that I watched it. And I don't think I think I watched it in installments, and I don't know if I ever finished it.
I got you. Yeah, that's something I would watch in installments. Real quick, when you want to tag DJ Play Nice, you got to do the thing like this. There's two of these. There's like one where the fingers are different, but this is the correct one. You always have to pick the slightly brown one. You can't pick the yellow or the white one. It has to be the slightly brown one when you tag him. Otherwise, it won't tag correctly. Just in case anybody wants to tag DJ Play Nice. Good to see you, man. Real Wade Nation, he does content too. I think we named him. Oh yeah, James. Thank you, James, for dropping in as well. And I think that is every single person up to and including some person, Kronos, Stone Loki of Loki's Mornings of Mischief. Oh my goodness, Chevy Clover is here. Did I miss you? I'm sorry. She's a cool cat. She's real sweet. I like her. She's great. And that covers everybody. And of course, finally, thank you to the great American Punk Model for joining me today.
You're welcome.
And with that being said, oh my God, there's so many chats. I'm kidding. I appreciate your chats. Doesn't mean I'm going to read them, but I do appreciate them.
He's making
but
music.
Awesome One gets up around 12. A lot of night hours here. I'm just going to skim through it real quick. Pizza the Hut. Oh my God, that greasy. Okay, we're at the bottom. Sliders said by Yoko. Sliders. Okay. Well, I'll investigate doing that.
You don't have to.
Brown one. Oh God, I'm gonna go and get in trouble now. And with that being said, before I conclude, I just need to check something real quick. I did that wrong. I was supposed to do this. I'm getting blown out of airlock.